I ended up in alFRED by complete chance. See, I come from a very, very far away place. I was born and raised in a very tropical, warm, and pretty country called El Salvador. Very, very, very different from the weather we have outside today. I attended a high school there that taught me English, and it expanded my horizons in terms of where I was going to go study. But sadly, I graduated right when the pandemic started, so I couldn't come to the US anymore like I had planned. So I applied everywhere in the world that would take me, and I found myself studying biomedical engineering in a huge school in South Korea by the end of the spring. As one might expect, this was really hard on freshly 18-year-old me, so I decided to transfer out by the end of my freshman year. I went on the Common app, and I sorted by alphabetical order, and I found an alFRED University at the top, and it was just because it started with an A. The application fee was free, so I sent my application, and then alFRED took a chance on me, and they granted me an admission. After feeling lost for so long, I made my way down to alFRED without ever having stepped foot in New York State, much less visited campus. I took the chance and I came to alFRED blind. And I thankfully came out pleasantly surprised. AU was my last choice. It was the smallest school in the smallest town of the few that I had applied to. My first flight here was long and exhausting, and the drive down from the airport to here was a terrible, really scary adventure because I had no data on my phone, so I didn't have any maps. I was also here alone. I didn't have my parents by my side. I was on my own. Needless to say, I was so scared. Nevertheless, I came in with an open mind, and soon I started finding things about AU that drew me closer and closer to the school. I was warmly welcomed into AU. I got my first campus job as an admissions tour guide. I found a great little group of friends, and I found kind staff that made me feel seen. Empowered by the support of faculty and staff all around AU, I was able to become involved on campus in several different areas. I became part of several clubs, I got a few more jobs, I joined honor societies, and developed friendly and supportive relationships with students and staff all around. Now that I'm nearing the end of my undergraduate journey, I feel so sad to think that I might have to leave soon. I have been able to create such a lovely little network of warmness with other students and with faculty in the Center for Student Involvement, in the Center for Academic Success, in admissions, and in Rest Life. I walk down the street, and with every passing interaction, I feel the reassurance and the sense of belonging of this little community that I have created around me, and I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I also took a chance on changing my major, sort of. In South Korea, I was studying biomedical engineering, and here it became biomaterials engineering. When I switched to this, I thought, wow, that sounds so cool, because biomaterials engineering is one of the most fundamental. Civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, industrial engineers, they all depend on materials that have been researched and developed by materials engineers first. Studying engineering was daunting. I was never too good at math, I was horrible at physics, and I was and still am a terrible procrastinator. But I attended free tutoring sessions provided by alFRED, and alFRED always gave me the support that I needed to succeed. I made sure I didn't fall behind, and my professors were always open to answering questions if I visited them during open office hours. My first summer here, I was able to stay for summer research, which led me to the field that I now specialize in, which is bioactive glass. If you're at all curious about what bioactive glass is, you can find me after this talk, and I will go on and on and on about how amazing this material is. But anyways, staying at alFRED for research so early in my journey opened up so many opportunities for me. I got trained in machines. I got trained on how to use very important machinery. I learned from glass researchers from all over the world. I built connections that will help me out in the future, and I got paid for that. I also became an engineering tour guide. I've been helping students who are interested in engineering find where their interests lie in, and I've helped calm their worries and dissuade their concerns by talking to them about alFRED or telling them my story. I've also had the pleasure of being a student to some of the kindest and smartest professors that I have ever met. For example, Dr. Storr, who will talk to students for hours as if they were old friends. Dr. Laux, whose love for physics spills out and infects everyone around him. Dr. Moulton, who will crack jokes and make situations funny no matter how serious of a situation you're in. Or Dr. Wilkinson, who often takes a chance on us and pushes us to do undergraduate research whenever we can. My professors have been approachable and excitable. They all get so into it when you ask them a good question that sometimes you have to remind them that you have a class coming up and you have to go. In all, I have never had any doubt in my mind that my professors want to see me succeed above all else. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about in engineering is how at alFRED you can do pretty much anything you want, as long as you put the effort into it. Me and my friends have been able to travel all over the US for conferences. We have met CEOs, international professors, and top names in research. We have been able to start new projects and find funding to develop our ideas. We have been able to use machines that students in other schools dream of using. You name it, the XRD, the SEM, the TEM, the XRF. You can ask me what any of those acronyms mean, but think large, expensive machine that does cool stuff. These are all pieces of equipment that we use all the time, even as undergraduates. See, at alFRED, we take chances on each other all the time. We take a chance on attending events that might lead to new friendships. We take a chance on a town that might be small but is huge in terms of community. And we take a chance by having faith in our professors, and our professors take a chance by devoting themselves to us. After 3 years in this little town, I have truly grown to love it. I've had my ups and downs, as everyone does, but my ups keep going up and up. I actually recently decided to take a chance on alFRED again. I just finished applying to stay another several years at alFRED, pursuing a PhD in material science and engineering. And I haven't gotten the official yes just yet, but I'm very excited for the possibility to stay in this little town for a long time still. This love for AU that I have grown over the years is a direct product of the warm culture of community shared by alFREDians, and it motivates me to give back to the school in whatever little ways I can. Whether it be planning and running events for other students, making students feel welcomed and safe during Welcome Week, helping residents feel more comfortable by being their RA, or helping out with informative engineering tours to inspire other students to come to AU, it gives me great satisfaction to help students have an alFRED experience as gratifying as mine has been. So, if I took a chance on alFRED and came here in such a risky and unpredictable way, and still managed to make it the best years of my life, I'm sure your kids can too. Thank you.